süreçleriyle ilgili olsun, başvuru şartlarıyla ilgili olsun, giriş şartlarıyla ilgili olsun, tüm sorularınızı hem yetkililerinize de iletebilirsiniz, ayrıca yine bizlere de iletebilirsiniz bunun sonrasında. Başvuru süreciyle ilgili ben çok kısa bilgi aktarmak istiyorum sizlere bu arada. 12. sınıflarımız için hala başvurularımız devam ediyor belli okullarda, belli bölümlerde. Bununla ilgili Sezen Hanım'la iletişime geçin lütfen. Mutlaka yönlendirecektir sizleri. Ama ideal olanı 10. 11. sınıftan itibaren sizlerin bu yola girebilmeniz. Eğer İngiltere'yi düşünüyorsanız neler yapabileceğinizle ilgili, CV'nize neler ekleyebileceğinizle ilgili, niyet mektubunuzda neler yazabileceğinizle ilgili mutlaka şimdiden görüşelim isteriz. Çünkü İngiltere üniversitelerine başvururken bu belgeler sizler için çok önemli olacak ve bu belgelerde eklediğiniz noktalar sizleri ön plana çıkartacak. 3 üniversitemizde dünya sıralamasında iyi üniversiteler şu anda size misafir olarak getirdiklerimiz ama elbette ki ileriki zamanlarda İzmir'e yine başka üniversitelerde gelecekler. Bizler son sınıfta sizlerin başvurusunu resmi olarak yapabileceğiz ama belirttiğim gibi 9. sınıftan, 10. sınıftan, 11. sınıftan itibaren görüşebilmemiz size çok şey katacaktır diye düşünüyorum. Size öncelikle o zaman ben çok teşekkür ediyorum dinlediğiniz için. Dediğim gibi bizlerle ilgili veya süreçle ilgili tüm sorularınızı bekliyoruz sizinle. Teşekkürler. Evet, University of Birmingham yetkilimiz seni sahneye davet ediyorum. Zahmet.
Merhaba everyone. Hello. You might realize that's my maximum level of Turkish. I can see teşekkürler, but I'm going to save it to the last. Okay, these are the two words I can speak about Turkey, but you can teach me more. Right. Great. So, very, very nice to be here today in Izmir. It's actually my third time to Izmir. Always a pleasure to come back. We've got a gorgeous city, lovely weather, and so welcoming people. So it's great to be at your school today, and thank you very much for making your time here to listen to us today. My name is Wen Hao. I'm here today representing the University of Birmingham in the UK. Any of you ever heard of Birmingham? Oh, right. Have you been to the UK? Sorry?
First grade of Birmingham mechanical engineering.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, thank you. Thank you so very much. Great that we've got one student, and you probably will be with me at University of Birmingham this September. So very nice to meet you today. And for those of you who might not yet heard of Birmingham, I will give you a bit of idea about the city of Birmingham while we're getting the presentations ready. I believe all of you have, of course, heard of London, the capital, the glorious capital city of the United Kingdom, but also it's a bit, you know, the capital is always means the expensive city, a bit slightly crowded metropolitan city. Whereas where we are at the city of Birmingham is the second largest city in the UK. So you guys are here from Izmir, so you are familiar with those amazing city life, great food, great shopping malls, and very convenient transportation. All of this And we're so used to here in a lovely city of Izmir. And at the same time, great, we've got our presentation here. So that's the city where our university, the University of Birmingham, is based. So if we jump to the next page,
Next.
thank you. Right, so for many of you who haven't quite heard of the University of Birmingham, if I can only give you a few quick points about what is the University of Birmingham, can you just give me some reason of why Birmingham? These are my reasons. Shall we jump to the next page and perhaps just perhaps send the list for the... Yes. So if I have to use one sentence to talk about why Birmingham, we are a global top 100 university in the second largest city in the UK. So when you think about choosing a university to study at, you might want to live in a nice, beautiful city, and you also want to have a beautiful campus, and you also, of course, want to get the very best education, the best quality of education, and we have them all here at the University of Birmingham. Talking about the quality first, as I said, we are one of the global top 100 university, and according to the most recent QS World University ranking 2023, we ranked number 91 globally and 14th in the UK. How do I challenge?
Yeah.
This one?
This one.
It's backwards, yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. And also, if I'm not sure that you've heard of this name called Russell Group, it represents 24 world-class research-intensive universities in the UK, including Cambridge, Oxford, and the University of Birmingham is also one of the founding members of the Russell Group. So again, that represents the high level of research-intensive universities in the UK. And that's probably also the reason why we're so proud to have produced 10 Nobel Prize winners among our alumni and academics, including 4 for medicine, 3 for chemistry, 2 for physics, and 1 for peace. So particularly for those students who are interested in studying any science subject at university, we are a Nobel Prize winning university, and you're truly going to study with the world-leading academics in your chosen subjects. If you're considering to study business, economics, management, marketing, that kind of programs, Birmingham Business School is the oldest business physics and chemistry prize winners were University of Birmingham alumni anecdotes. It's not quite working, so I might need to go to the that issue. Yes, shall we? That's great, great. I have already talked a bit about the city of Birmingham. If we go to the next page, it will give you a UK map and give you an idea of where we are in the UK. What I find fascinating is because Turkey is such a huge country, so you guys are used to the idea that if you live in if you like one city, you have to study, you have to live in that particular city, otherwise it will be too far to travel between cities. But bear in mind, UK is such a tiny country size-wise compared with here in Turkey. So even Izmir, if you drive for like half an hour or 1 hour, you're still within Izmir. But in the UK, an hour or within 2 hours, you pretty much can go anywhere within England. So if we go on to the next page, thank you. It gives you an idea of where we are. Great. So this is what UK looks like. And not sure whether you can see clearly where Birmingham is. It's right at the heart of England. So as I said, we're the second largest city, and also we're very centrally located in England, which makes it so easy to go anywhere. If you want to go down to London for shopping or a theatre, well, we've got that in Birmingham. But if you really want to go down to London, jump on the train, an hour and a half, you're there. And as I said, Birmingham International Airport, half an hour away from our campus, so it's very well connected and centrally located. And one thing I want to highlight here is Birmingham is also the youngest city in the whole Europe, not because of the history. We've got long and glorious history. It's because of the age of the population. It's fascinating to see all the young faces here today. And you expect the same there in Birmingham, because 40% of our population is under 30 years old. So because I was an international student myself, I understand the anxiety being, kind of a foreigner, and you have to travel all the way to a different country at a very young age. You'd be worried about, making friends, meeting people at your age, and all sorts of these kind of worries. But here at Birmingham, we're such a young city, you're surely going to meet your peers at your age from all over the world who come to study at the University of Birmingham or who come to live in a city in Birmingham. And actually 48%, almost half of our graduates from the University of Birmingham, they choose to stay in Birmingham to get a job here, to settle down here, to start their life here. And why is that? It's because, again, the city is full of opportunities and hope and amazing life experience for young people. Sorry. No problem. That's exactly what I wanted. Great. So just a quick look at our city centre. We've also got a canal, as I mentioned. So it's not just boring business centre. We've also got the very soft and beautiful side of this city with the canal. If we jump into I just realized that I might have taken quite a long time. I'll just jump into our courses. So this is what our campus look like. I talk a lot about the city as quite, busy, modern, but it does not mean we have to sacrifice your campus experience. We also have a beautiful, large campus. Look, and this is to give you an idea of what it looks like. At the very center of our campus, we have this clock tower, which is the tallest freestanding clock tower in the world. Not one of, it is the tallest, 100 meters, and we always see our students don't get lost. You see the clock tower, and that's where your campus is. If you move to the next page, what you can study at University of Birmingham. We are a quite comprehensive research university with 5 main colleges and multiple schools and departments within each college. So arts and law, engineering, physical sciences, where mechanical engineering is based. life and environmental sciences, medical and dental sciences, and social sciences, where our business school is part of. So for all these programs, we have foundation and undergraduate, and then of course postgraduate and PhD level of study. Thank you. Entry requirements. That's the exciting part. We've always got asked about how can I get into your university? Is it hard? So your university, your school is one of the very best ones in the country. So you're on our premium schools list, where we can consider your the student from your school for the undergraduate direct entry into the year one with your Turkish high school diploma. So what we'll look at is your final year, year 12 GPA. It does not mean that your year 11, 10, 9 are not important. They're very important, because when you apply kind of a year in advance, and by that point, we can only look at your transcript from the previous year. But if you can get the offer, the condition on your offer will only be about your final year GPA. And it depends on which program you apply for. So, for example, if you're interested in studying physics or computer science, which are our most popular programs, and got the highest requirement of 88% of your final year GPA. And some other programs may have slightly lower entry requirement, around 80 or 75. If you do any of these international curriculums, like IB courses, we require 32 points overall, and we pay particular attention to your results of your IB high level scores. And again, if you're like, can I focus on high school diploma and not doing any IB, APs, no problem at all. Again, so we treat all these curriculums equally. So it does not mean that if you have IB, you have better chances. We treat them equally, and once you meet one of the entry requirements, you get into university. Yes, thank you. And English as well. To apply for a UK university, you do need to provide your English qualification, unless, of course, you have done your IBCSE or IB English, then you don't need to. We have a list of acceptable English tests, but of course, IELTS is kind of the most popular one that most students would take, again, depending on which program you applied for. Most of our science programs and engineering programs, we require IELTS 6 overall, and like a business psychology 6.5, law will be the higher one with IELTS 7.0 as the requirement. Thank you. Talking about the fees and living costs, Birmingham, despite being the second largest city, as I just said, we are actually a very, very affordable student city, because if you remember, I said our campus is not at the busy and expensive city centre. We are just on the edge of the city. So here are our band of tuition fees. Again, it depends on what program you apply for. And if we go on the living cost, thank you. And here are the expected or estimated living costs, but depends on what kind of accommodation, what kind of rooms you'll stay at. And these are our estimated costs, including your rents and other essential costs on a weekly and annual basis. So we're talking about 8,000-ish for a year to cover all your essential costs to study at University of Birmingham. Yes, please. Yes, scholarships. I always got asked about scholarships. I don't know which years you're currently studying, because our scholarship offerings change every year. So do need to check back when it's your turn to apply for university. For students applying for this September 2023 intake, we have 3 undergraduate scholarships. We have a Turkey scholarship, which is 2,500 for the top performing high school students from Turkey. If you're studying any of our science and engineering programs, physics, chemistry, computer science, and any engineering, we have either 1,500 or 3,000 for your first year of study, and it's continuous in the following years of study. And also for law, we have 3,000 every year for the good students. So if, as an outstanding student from Turkey, if you can get both the Turkey scholarship and, for example, the engineering scholarship, is 5,500 for the first year of your study, which is about 25% of your tuition fee, or about 9-10 months of your accommodation for free. So that's about the level of scholarship we offer for our undergraduate students from Turkey. And that's it. Very quickly about our accommodation, if we jump just to the accommodation side, because I do feel I would have taken quite a long time, and you've got another two amazing universities that you need to know about. Just jump to the accommodation side. Oh, here are some pictures of our lovely campus. We've got a museum, we've got an art gallery, a concert hall, and a geology museum on campus. So again, talking about extracurricular activities, your other interests outside of your study, we are the campus city which will surely keep you entertained. If we just jump to the accommodation, which I particularly want to highlight here. Yes, so this is what our student accommodation is like. We have a very beautiful lake on campus, and one of our student accommodation villages is just surrounding the lake. So you're going to get a lake view room while you're studying at the University of Birmingham. All of the rooms are for one student only, and all within about 15 minutes of walk to your teaching buildings, and you get the accommodation guarantee scheme for our first year international students. So do not need to worry about, oh, am I going to get a room at the university? You will, because we have a guaranteed scheme if you apply before certain deadlines. That's the end of my part. If we jump to the end, I will cover the cost. If you jump to the end, we've got our contact details. If you have any questions, of course, we have time here today to answer any questions you may have. And if you think any other questions, if you jump to the final page, do feel free to get in touch with us. And thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Self-Sussex Jim. Hello. Welcome. It should be on. Right. I can just tap it all there to say. Yes. Thank you. I can make this not start.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you again for giving us this opportunity to come and talk to you. So I'm Isabel and I work at the University of Sussex. Does anyone know where that is? Have you heard of Brighton? Yeah, some of you have heard of Brighton. What I'm finding when I go across the world is that it's slightly more well known now that the football team are actually doing okay. So there's a bit of kind of recognition there. But basically, if you picture where London is, you go directly south for an hour on the train, you end up at the city of Brighton. And so that is our kind of closest big place. The university itself, and you'll see some pictures in a bit. There we go. So the top right is an overview of our campus. I know you can't see it too well with the lights on. You've got the campus here, which potentially from where you are might look massive, or you might think that looks small. To put it into perspective, we have about 20,000 students, but about 13,000 of those are undergraduate students. So your undergraduate is like your first degree at university. Then on the campus is maybe 3,000–4,000 students living for the first time. So you'd all have your own bedroom and you're put with other students as well. No one knows anyone, so you're all in that same situation where you'll have all your kind of welcome events, orientation and things like that. So you can see a bit of our campus there. All of our campus accommodation is individual rooms, and we do guarantee it for undergraduate students joining us for the first time as well. So that's nice to know. And the rest of what you can see is the university kind of academic, social, student life. Let's see. Is it completely? Thank you. So it's a little video that shows you campus on a nice sunny day. In terms of our subjects, we have quite a broad offering. We have medicine, we have law, psychology, economics, things in business studies. We've recently started some new courses in finance and digital technology, sustainable automotive engineering, AI, robotics. So we have the traditional subjects that you might associate with the traditional university, but we also have some newer curriculum as well. I think globally we're sort of most well known for our international development and relations type courses, because we are consistently ranked #1 in the world for those sorts of courses. And there's a lot of different things there to choose between. If you like kind of physics, we have that, we have astrophysics, a huge number of different things. Quite often what I've been asked, this week has been my first work trip to Turkey, and I've been asked quite a lot, do you have Turkish students on campus? Because completely understandably, a lot of Turkish students who I've spoken to are worried that they might be the only person from their country. But that won't be the case at all, pretty much wherever you go and study in the UK, because a lot of Turkish students, for various reasons, will come to the UK to study for their degree. And we have a lot of very happy Turkish students. This is the story of one who went to do a sort of a work placement internship as part of their course. So a really good thing to think about in UK universities is what work experience you can get in addition to just the academic subject. So we offer all of our undergraduate students the opportunity to do a whole year's paid work experience. So we'll support you to find something that you're interested in, to apply for it. You'll study for 2 years, go and do that work placement for a year, and then come back and do your final year. I've worked here for a really long time. I've been here for 10 years. And when I see students come back after their work placement year, they're so motivated, they're much more mature. So I definitely recommend, wherever you end up, if you do have the opportunity to sort of push yourself out of your comfort zone and do that year, definitely recommend you to take a look at that, because you can go and do some amazing things. So we have a very strong school in engineering and informatics. As I mentioned, we've got a newer kind of courses in robotics, mechatronics, as well as some of the traditional engineering subjects as well. We also have a huge number of partners that we can send our students to. I think traditionally, sometimes students think, I have to go to London. That is the only place where there'll be jobs. But actually in the UK, like Turkey, the employers, the industry is spread so much further than London. And there are pockets all over the country where you can go and get work experience and where you can go and find employment there as well. So it's a lot broader than what you might think. Law, I'm finding very popular with Turkish students. We do have law. We also, you can study it with some other courses as well, which is still that LLB qualification, the law qualification that you need. So that is there as well. Very strong law school, ranks very well. And then also I'm finding a lot of interest in psychology. So I just flag our kind of offering there. What we have is BSc in psychology, but we also offer it with clinical science, cognitive science, criminology. So various different options about how you can sort of customize your course to make it the most relevant and interesting for you. That's another option that you will get at UK universities, is choosing a lot of your courses and your modules within that to make sure it's the most interesting thing for you, essentially. I think there's probably a couple of bullet points on that, but if you just skip through them, there you go. Now, in terms of our entry requirements, we do take students direct from school into first year. And what we're normally looking for is around about 80% upwards. If you've ended up doing some APs as well, we will look at those. We're happy to just look at your whole application, your whole background, and look for reasons to make offers as a result of that one. So you can apply direct to first year entry, ideally sort of 80% upwards. We will need IELTS as well at band 6. Yeah, that's what we're asking for, really. Oh, fees, scholarships, here we go. Our fees range, and we haven't got the 2024 fees and scholarships announced yet, but generally our fees range from sort of 18. Okay, and could you go to the next one? Yes. Personally, my favourite thing about our university is the location. So we're right next to the city of Brighton, which, quite similar to Izmir, is the city on the seafront. So I think what I find is students like yourselves, when you come to Sussex, you feel quite at home because you've got that green space, you've got that seaside, and there's a familiarity there. So wherever you end up studying in the UK, even if it's not with us, I definitely recommend you make the time to come down to Brighton, enjoy it. It's a really, really fun, young, vibrant city. We have lots of music events, comedy events. There's lots of places to get part-time jobs. It's very kind of unique, individual, really well connected, not just to like London and within the UK, but we're also just half an hour from Gatwick, so it makes it really easy, either flying home or going to other European cities. And then all the kind of greenery you've seen around it is the South Downs National Park, so again, great for walks and things like that. The next one, if it will. I might have broken it with the video. So. There we go. So just to put it into perspective, right down on the south coast, where it might be a bit below than where you are, but where that sort of orange circle is. And then I mentioned we've got various different housings that you can be guaranteed to get as you're coming to us for the first time. And they are all individual rooms and they're all self-catered. I just want to flag as well, at UK universities, and we're no different, we have a huge number of different activities for you to get involved in. So we call them societies and clubs. So this is a great way for you to meet other people, to socialise, to do activities that you enjoy. And I definitely recommend getting involved with as many of those as you're interested in when you come to UK universities. And sports are a big thing as well. So we have a couple of different sports centres on campus and a huge number of teams that you can join, either because you're very competitive and you love that sport, or just to keep active and just to meet people. So that was just kind of a brief introduction from me about the university. Obviously, if you want to come and ask us anything afterwards, we will still be here. But I'm going to hand over now to Sarah from Bristol. Who was here somewhere? There you are. Yeah. Oh, slide.
I'm James. Yeah. How are you? And I go to the next one straight away. Okay. Yeah.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So I'm your last university today. And my name is Sarah Ashwin, and I am here from the University of Bristol. So I'll be giving you a quick introduction to my university and why you might like to consider it as one of your options for university study. So I always like to start off to find out whether anybody knows where the city of Bristol is. So raise your hand if you think it might be number 1 on the map there. Okay, not many hands there. I'll get you warmed up. What about number 2? Okay, it's not number 4, I'll tell you that. Okay, hands down. What about number 3? Okay, well, very well done to all of you that went with number 2. And that was the majority of you actually, so well done. So Bristol is a city based in the southwest of England. As you can see on the map there, yeah, it was number 2. And we say it's the 8th largest city in the UK, but by the standards you're used to here in Turkey, Bristol is a really small city. So we only have around 500,000 people based in the city of Bristol. But we are only an hour and a half outside of London. So you're still very close to the big city if you have friends and family that you'd like to visit there as well. But the city of Bristol does have a huge amount to offer our students, and it is one of the things that students really enjoy while they're studying with us. We're known for being a very creative city. So if you enjoy arts and culture, maybe you really enjoy film, cinema, particularly street art is something we're very well known for in Bristol. We are allegedly home to Banksy, who is a very famous street artist. So the city is, it's a very young city, very lively, known for having lots and lots to do outside of your studies. And we do like to describe ourselves as a city with soul, because Bristol does very much have a personality. We're very socially conscious and very environmentally conscious as well. So if you are interested in sustainability or interested in social development, then Bristol is a city that will have a huge amount to offer you alongside your studies. But moving on to the university itself then, which is why I'm here to talk to you today. The biggest reason that students are attracted to the University of Bristol initially is our rankings. So we are a very highly ranked university. We're particularly proud of our QS rankings. So we are a top 10 UK university according to QS, and we are 61st in the world as well. And we're not resting on our laurels either. One of the university's big ambitions is to return to the top 50 universities globally. So you can be sure that studying at the University of Bristol means that you get a very high quality education, but that our reputation will continue to improve as well as years go on. Now, I mentioned that we are an environmentally conscious city, but we're also a very environmentally conscious university as well. So we were the first university in England to declare a climate emergency. So if you are passionate about the environment, about making positive change when it comes to sustainability, then Bristol is a city and a university that will support you with those ambitions. Being a top university also means that our graduates enjoy really good employment prospects, like my colleagues at Birmingham. We're one of the most targeted universities when it comes to the top graduate employers in the UK. So studying at Bristol means you get a very high quality education and that you will be very employable when you graduate as well. And we do have a very long history of excellence at the University of Bristol. We've been around since 1876, so we are very well established. We are one of the founding members of the Russell Group, which, as Wen said, means that we are a research-intensive university. And it confirms that the research that we undertake at the university is world-leading. And we feed that right back into our curriculum. So you'll be learning from world experts in your field. So you'll be learning cutting edge developments in whatever it is that you are interested in. We also, like my colleagues, offer a huge range of different courses. I know in Turkey you might have universities that are focused on specific subject areas. In the UK, it's more common to have universities that offer a diversity of subject areas. So at Bristol, we have 6 faculties that range from arts, engineering, all the way through to social science and law. I don't have the time to talk about all of them today, but what I thought would be useful is to highlight some of the courses that have traditionally been very popular for us, for students joining us from Turkey. Now, I'm sure these come as no surprise to you. I'm sure either you're interested in these subjects or your friends might be interested. So we have computer science there. Again, law is a hugely popular subject for us at Bristol. This here is our law school. It's called Wills Memorial Building, and it's one of the most iconic buildings in the city. So a very prestigious place to study. And then beyond that, we see a lot of interest in our business courses, engineering, but also our courses based within our Faculty of Life Science. So if you're interested in psychology, maybe neuroscience, cellular molecular medicine, biochemistry, we have lots of specialist courses there that draw upon the research that we undertake at the university. But in terms of applying to the University of Bristol, I just wanted to highlight our entry requirements. So we're generally looking for grades of 74% or above from your Turkish diploma. Most of our courses are asking for 80%, with 85% in relevant subjects. So, for example, if you're interested in engineering, I'd be looking for 85% in mathematics. Like my colleagues, we will need evidence of your English language ability as well. And for us at Bristol, that's usually an IELTS of 6.5 or above. I also wanted to highlight our scholarship opportunities, because at Bristol we do have a very generous scholarship scheme called Think Big. We have £3 million worth of scholarships to award this year, and it's likely that that will grow next year. For undergraduate students, that is discounts of £6,500 and £13,000 per year of study. And the next question always is, how do I apply for the scholarship? Am I eligible? This scholarship is open to all international students. So regardless of the grades that you've achieved or you're predicted to achieve, everyone that applies to the University of Bristol is also eligible to apply for the scholarship. The application requires you to answer 3 really short essay questions. We want to hear about your accomplishments, so the things that you're most proud of. We also want to hear about your contributions to the community, so any service work that you may have been involved with. And then the final question asks about your career goals and how studying at the University of Bristol will play into that. So the best answers to those essay questions are awarded scholarship. So we do always encourage students to apply for the scholarship if you're considering the University of Bristol. The deadline for this year has already passed, but it does tend to be in February or March every year. So do take a look at our website for the year that is relevant to you. And then finally, I just wanted to highlight that, like my colleagues, we do have accommodation available at the University of Bristol, and like you'll find at many UK universities, that is guaranteed for your first year of study. I just wanted to highlight that deadline there for any of you that are interested in Bristol. The 30th of June is the date by which you need to apply for accommodation, and we do encourage you to do that to make sure that you have a soft landing in the UK, you know where you're going to live, and it's very secure and comfortable for you when you first arrive. But that's all that I wanted to cover with you today. Hopefully that was useful and gave you some highlights about the University of Bristol, but we'll be hanging around at the end for any questions that you might have as well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Evet. Thanks a lot. Sorularınız için arkadaşlar Pınar Hanım'ı tekrardan sahneye davet ediyorum. Teşekkürler. Son bir 10 dakika sorularınızı alalım. Sonrasında çıkışınız için sınıflarınızı alacağız sizi. Lütfen sorunuz varsa Pınar Hanım buradayken ve yetkililer buradayken sorularınızı paylaşabilirsiniz. Teşekkürler.
Evet. Sorular var mı?
Herkes gayet net galiba. Sorusu olan yok. Peki. O zaman teşekkür ediyorum.
Teşekkürler.
Müdür yardımcısı. Çok özür dilerim, göremedim. Çok özür dilerim. Ömür Bey.
Hazırlığınız ve sunumunuz için teşekkür ederim. Ben bir veliyim. Şimdi ben burada şunu merak ediyorum. Buraya dolduran genç arkadaşlarımızın hepsinin hedefi belli. Yani İngiltere olmasa Fransa olmasa Almanya gibi bir takım yönlendirmelere girmiş vaziyetteler. Şimdi benim önerim şu, soru değil de bir öneri aslında. Ben bunu daha önce hocamızdan paylaşmıştım. Şimdi buradaki öğrenci arkadaşların orada tarif edilmiş olan üniversitelerle ilgili olarak da kafalarında, paranın kenarında binlerce, yüz binlerce, milyonlarca soru işareti olduğuna inanıyorum. En azından ben bir ebeveyn olarak da yarın çantasını eline aldığı zaman orada gittiğinde neyle karşılaşacağını bilemiyoruz. Şu anda hani bu soruyu buradaki bütün öğrenci arkadaşların hepsine sorsan bununla ilgili olaraktan bir takım tarifler var, tahminler var ama bunun ötesinde şu öngörü yok. Bu noktanın bence çok daha farklı bir şekilde öğrencilere yansıtılması gerektiğine inanıyorum. Bunun örneklemesini vermem gerekirse, bir modelleme yapmam gerekirse, buradaki öğrenci arkadaşlarla internet vasıtasıyla, Zoom'la ya da onların daha iyi bildiği iletişim yöntemleriyle orada yaşayan birebir, bu Türk olabilir, İtalyan olabilir, Fransız olabilir, o insanlarla direkt temasa geçilmesinin buradaki arkadaşlara çok ciddi anlamda faydası olacağına inanıyorum.
Teşekkür ederim.
Bununla ilgili olaraktan çok ciddi bir ihtiyaç duyulduğunu, yani ihtiyaç oluştuğuna inanıyorum. Bu konuda eğer farklı bir bakış açısıyla olayı değerlendirirseniz öğrenci arkadaşlarımız daha farklı noktalara gidebilirler. Teşekkür ederim.
Çok teşekkürler.
Ömür Bey, çok teşekkür ederim. Bizim özellikle geçen yıl itibariyle İngiltere'deki üniversitelerde kabullerini alıp giden öğrencilerimiz var. Yıl sonunda da onları aramıza dahil edip orada yaşadıkları ilk yıl tecrübelerini tabii Almanya'ya giden, Kanada'ya giden öğrencilerimize davet edeceğiz. Bununla ilgili kendi öğrencilerimizle böyle bir süreç işliyor olacağız. Ama öneriniz için size çok teşekkür ederiz. Sağ olun.
Ayrıca da eğer bizim içindeki veya öğrencilerimiz geçerse halihazırda orada okuyan öğrencilerimizle biz e-mail, telefon vasıtasıyla mutlaka görüştürüyoruz. Özellikle gitmek istediği okuldan bir öğrencimiz varsa öncelikle ona yönlendiriyoruz. Bölümden aynı bölümde bir öğrenci varsa ona yönlendiriyoruz. Aynı zamanda Ece Hanım da İngiltere'de master'ını yaptı. Aynı zamanda ofisimizde de yine birkaç arkadaşımız İngiltere'de lisans master mezunu. Ben evet orada bir öğrencilik geçirmedim, doğru. Ben danışman olarak baktığım bakış açısıyla öğrencilerimize anlatıyorum. Ama deneyimli arkadaşlarımızdan ve orada halihazırda okuyan öğrencilerimizle iletişime geçmeleri için bizler de yönlendiriyoruz. Çok haklısınız. Teşekkürler.
Evet, başka sorumuz var mı? Peki. Peki, o zaman teşekkür ediyorum. Çok
Arkadaşlar, şimdi herkes oturduğu yerde kalıyor, en arkadan başlayarak sınıflarımıza gidiyoruz. Çünkü törenimize daha var. Ders saatlerimiz sınıflarda, sınıflardan törene yapacağız. Sağ tarafta gider kalıyor, en arkadan başlıyoruz. Kimse kalkmasın ayağa. Sakin sakin. Arkadaşlar oturabilir miyiz? Otur evladım. Öğretmen arkadaşlarım arkadan devam edebilir miyiz? Evladım oturabilir misiniz yanımda? Güzel. Oturur musun? Otur.